Hi, I'm Lisa and welcome back to my Fat React series where I'm going to be reacting to different aspects of health culture. This includes the fitness community, the fat acceptance community, as well as popular health and beauty trends. So I've been searching the socials as one tends to do, and since I tend to search fat acceptance and body positivity a lot, what should be suggested to me but those very same topics? Surprise, right? If you search for something, the algo is likely to suggest it to you. But I started to notice a surprising trend among the videos being recommended to me, and it's just video after video of fat acceptance vegans. Yes, this is super morbidly obese, fat acceptance vegans posting everything they eat throughout the day and filming themselves eating it too. And it's always very interesting the way that they frame it because it's exactly the same no matter who's doing it. And it's what I eat in a day as a fat vegan who's not trying to lose weight. Which, whatever, but the implication that they're giving is something like, I may be fat, but I'm vegan. So I'm eating healthily, therefore, I'm healthy. Here's an example. Video 1. So on first look, you might think the problem is, oh gee, that's a lot of food. For her size and probably her activity level, it's probably like a normal amount of food to maintain her weight. That's not what I noticed. What I noticed was, wow, there is an awful lot of processed food that she's eating. And I can understand to some extent the goal of wanting to eat more healthily without focusing on weight loss. I think doing anything towards making healthier choices is ultimately going to benefit you and hopefully result in weight loss, even if that's not what you're going to focus on at first. Like, I've recommended you're going to try and start losing weight, you need to focus on changing your diet first and not worrying about cutting calories or working out until you establish healthy eating patterns. So I get that. I really do. But I don't care if you're vegan. If you're eating that much processed food, that's not healthy eating. Now, I could take the time to explain why I don't think veganism is the healthiest of lifestyles and have all the vegans come for me and start criticizing me and attacking my channel. Come at me, I don't care. I do believe humans should be eating meat, especially red meat. I think it's very important, especially for women. But you do you. It's not about that right now. I'm just not a fan of this portrayal of food as healthy when you're eating deep-fried cauliflower wings. What are they fried in? They're fried in seed oils. And they have to be fried in seed oils because you can't have animal fats, can't have beef tallow, can't have bacon grease, can't have butter, right? Theoretically, you could fry it in olive oil, but the problem with olive oil in the US is a lot of it's mixed with canola oil, and they won't even say so on the label. And this particular TikToker puts out a lot of these videos. I'll show another one. And so another thing I noticed here too is that she's portraying like, hey, I'm eating a salad, I'm eating apples. Apples, yes, definitely good. But the salad's covered in the salad dressing, which is mixed with lots of seed oils. Greens, we traditionally think is healthy, are not actually that good for you. The reason why greens are bitter before you cook them is because it's the plant saying, hey, please don't eat me. It releases toxins in your body, which cause inflammation. A lot of greens actually block thyroid hormone production. And so eating a lot of that stuff is not that good for you. If you are going to focus on eating a lot of vegetables in your diet, you should be eating fruits that we call vegetables, such as zucchini, eggplant, tomatoes, things like that. Things that come from a flower. And they're savory, they're not sweet like regular fruit, but they're still technically fruit. Very good for you. So even though I can understand her not trying to lose weight, I don't think it's an excuse for eating so unhealthily. It's not just this TikToker. You can see it like everywhere. Like, here's another one.
What I eat in a day is a fat girl who doesn't focus on weight loss. I got a caramel macchiato without the drizzle and added my own pumpkin spice. It was so bomb. After we went grocery shopping, I got these chili limon chips. They were so good. Then I had orange chicken and these veggie gyozas. Later I made a chicken sandwich. Then I got really snacky, so I ate some jerky and then some okra and vegan chocolate chip cookies from Trader Joe's.
So I'm sure you noticed just the intense amount of processed food in that video. And it's like, it said here like day 3 of being vegan. It's like, girl, you'd be better off like not getting things that are like coming in a bag, right? Like that's a big issue. If you're looking on the back and there's 1,000 different ingredients, 1,000 different plants, different oils, things like that, and chemical substances to kind of bind the fake meat together, that's an issue. Like, I'm not telling people to go out there and eat a whole bunch of soy. I try to tell people to like limit soy if you're morbidly obese. Not such a big deal if you're smaller. But if you are going to eat soy, that would be tofu, soy sauce, miso, things that have like fermented soy in them, or traditionally made soy. I wouldn't say to eat tofu all the time, especially if you're a man, or don't make it your primary protein. But if you are going to eat protein and not eat meat, you know, you can get that. It is processed, but like I said, it's traditionally processed. It's a very, like, you know, ancient form of food. And God, it tastes so much better than fake meat. And so I think these people are going vegan in order to feel healthier and feel better, but they're just going to end up feeling worse because everything they're putting into their body is going to cause massive amounts of inflammation. That inflammation is going to reduce activity because it's going to hurt the move. And then you're just going to end up gaining more weight despite trying to be healthier by eating what you assume is healthy. Here's another video. Once again, we're seeing so much processed food in that video. I think only the first girl I really saw eating like actual fruits and that weren't like deep fried. And I would say even the salad, despite the salad dressing, would be healthier than a lot of the processed foods that we're seeing in this video. And then you have Lizzo, and Lizzo, I got nothing really against her, but she did go vegan recently, or so I heard, and she releases What I Eat in a Day vegan video herself. And you can see some of the things that she's eating. And so we're only a little bit in the video, and we can already see that processed food, the orange cauliflower, which I'm guessing is like a substitute for orange chicken, the buffalo seitan, which is a substitute for buffalo chicken wings. And now she's eating what looks like fake meat, so fake hot dog meat, fake hamburger meat. If you ever see what's in Beyond Meat, I swear one day, just my personal opinion, don't come for me, Beyond Meat, I think your food's gonna end up getting a lot of people in the end. I don't trust the ingredients in that thing. She's really eating a lot there, but that's not really the point. The point is, it's this promotion of, hey, you can be vegan and still have all the same foods that you're used to eating, when it's probably so much better for you just to have the regular hamburger meat because it's one ingredient. It's the beef. Like, go ahead, look at what are the ingredients on the back of the box for Beyond Meat. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there that it's just like, what does this even do to your body? And they've probably done tests on it and everything to see like, oh, it's safe for you to eat, but like in what proportions? Should you be eating it 3 times a day? Probably not. And what I thought was interesting is I actually found a vegan on TikTok who was explaining the same exact thing that I'm talking to you now. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're connecting here. And even though I don't agree with veganism as a lifestyle, I thought it was interesting that he was bringing up the same point of how people who are trying to be vegan and live healthier lifestyles are not doing so because they're eating so much processed food. So let's watch that video.
You can be vegan and still be fat. You know, just because you go vegan doesn't mean you're going to automatically lose all this weight. You know, a lot of people, they go straight to soy, they go straight to processed foods, they're still eating lots of sugars. You know, these are what's going to hold your weight. And if you continue to eat these foods, you know, you're going to hold more weight, especially if you're eating things that are, you know, super starchy. So a lot of vegans are still eating lots of like heavy grains, heavy starches, and a lot of these are also enriched. And when these are enriched, it means they lost their minerals during the manufacturing process. So when this happened, then they put synthetic fake minerals in it to replace those minerals that were lost.
So if you remember that one girl, she was eating the Rice Krispie knockoff that was high in iron. Yeah, it's that right there. And they enrich grains with iron, but it's a very specific type of iron. It's called non-heme iron. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, versus heme iron, which comes from animal meat. And what we don't talk about enough is a lot of people cannot properly digest non-heme iron. So you could have as much cereal as you want. You can have all the spinach in the world. But someone like me, I can't get iron out of vegetables and grains. I can literally only get it out of red meat. I literally had my primary care doctor write eat beef on a prescription pad and give it to me. I was like, girl, I would love to. It's expensive. So I can only eat as much as I can eat, which is as much as I can afford, right? And I do agree with him. I'm not an anti-carb person, but I do think grains are not conducive towards losing weight. I wouldn't say all starches. I think potatoes are fine, especially a baked potato. I eat baked potatoes all the time and I'm losing weight. But I don't think starch, grains, oats, wheat are the best for losing weight. And the reason for that is, with wheat, it's not wheat specifically. It's wheat grown in America. And I'm going to do a whole video on this in the future where we talk about why bread in America is making you fat, but bread in Europe is not. But basically the gist is that wheat in America is highly mutated in order to grow bigger, faster, stronger, like the $1 Million Man. But another thing about it is that there's like this fungus on wheat that makes it not so good for you as well. So those two things together increase inflammation in your body, kind of mess with your gut bacteria, and make it harder for you to digest that wheat, and it makes you gain weight, makes you hungrier, etc. Versus if you have bread and wheat from flour that is from Europe, from wheat grown in Europe, you're not going to have those same issues. So if I ever like want a cake or like make any kind of dessert or baked good, I use like heirloom wheat that is grown in Italy. It's called Icorn, and there's other brands out there that are made in Italy that are much better for you. And I'm going to be doing some experimentation with making my own bread this summer. I have made bread in the past, but I've never made sourdough bread. I really want to experiment with that and kind of see how that goes. But yeah, anyways, back to this video. I'm just saying I agree with him about the whole grain part, maybe not starches, but that is one of the main reasons why they're not losing a lot of weight. They're just eating noodles and pasta and bread and all that other stuff. It's like, that's not so healthy. Sorry, it's just not.
This also makes you really fat. So when you're eating these type of fake synthetic foods, this is what's going to hold your weight. So if you're trying to lose the weight, I recommend you eating all whole foods, just fruits and vegetables. Stay away from the grains. If you need grains every once in a while, go for something like a quinoa bowl. Something a little more light. And if you're trying to lose weight, I wouldn't do this more than once a week. I wouldn't eat a grain bowl more than once a week. You can definitely still lose weight on a normal quote-unquote alkaline diet, but you're still it's going to take some time. So if you're eating grains like quinoa, even for instance, even though it is healthier, it's still going to take some time to lose weight. So the best thing you can do is eat all fruits and vegetables, and try to even stay away from cooked foods, especially when you're cooking with oils. Because these oils are also going to hold your weight up, and you're not going to be losing weight, because these seed oils and these different oils, they actually stay in our systems for a long time. It can take a couple of months just to cleanse out of the body.
I'm really glad he talked about seed oils. That is the one connection we're having across the aisle here. And but I do think one thing he's missing out on, maybe he'll talk about this later, I don't really know, is he's not mentioning protein. So I'm all for the fruits and vegetables if it's vegetables that are fruit, and definitely fruit. But if you're only eating fruits and vegetables, that's not going to fill you up. That's not going to satiate the hunger. And if you're hungry, you're not going to lose weight. Okay? You should be able to be full and feel satiated and lose weight. It's totally possible. I do it all the time. And so he really does need to be talking about what kind of protein they should be eating. I guess the only thing would be tofu, which, yeah, that's a lot of soy. That's why I'm not really pro-vegan here, but be better than no protein at all.
And if you're not detoxing or doing any of that at all, it's not even going to leave the body. It's just going to stack and, fill in pockets of the body, and this is going to cause problems later on in life. So, a lot of this weight is also waste. It's waste weight. So, we got to cleanse the body, get this waste out. Because when you cleanse this waste out, you're gonna lose the weight, because this weight is nothing but basically pools of waste. And most of the time they're linked with parasites.
I don't have any idea what he's talking about here. If he's talking about water weight, yes, if you have high amounts of inflammation in your body from eating these processed foods, you will drop that weight, but that's not fat. It might change your body shape a little bit because you're not as inflamed in certain areas, but it's not actually fat. You're losing weight, but not actually changing anything about your body, because you can just get that water weight back, just depending on what you eat. If he's talking about other ways, I would really have to look into that. That just seems kind of weird to me.
All of this, that's where a lot of your cravings come from. So we got to cleanse cellularly, family. I recommend doing things like fasting, juice fasting, fruit fasting, eating raw meals as much as possible, staying away from the meat, staying away from the dairy, staying away from the cheeses, staying away from the grains, staying away from the sugars, staying away from the oils. I know this sounds like a lot, y'all, but you can get really, really creative, and you can make amazing raw meals. You can make amazing cooked meals even, but I recommend staying away from the oils. I really, really do. So, You know, that can be hard to cook without the oils. I recommend using water instead of oil.
Okay, so he lost me there on that last part, okay? He's like, eat raw vegetables. I'm sorry, vegetables are meant to be cooked. There are a few things you can eat raw, they're meant to be cooked. That is, like I said, unless they're fruits like cucumbers or tomatoes. But you definitely want to cook the zucchinis and the eggplants. And if you are going to have greens, cook them. Cook them very well. Yeah, sure, eat your fruits raw. I am not for fasting. I am not about that. I think you don't have to fast to lose weight. You don't have to cleanse. The only thing you should be cleansing with is water. And making sure you're having enough potassium, magnesium, and just those basic, you know, hydration things to help flush out inflammation from your body. And that's basically it. But yeah, as for the rest of that, I'm like, that's a little iffy. But anyways, what I did like about him is that he did call out the eating of all this processed food and trying to act like it's healthy just because it's vegan. Like, let's be serious here for a second. But anyways, let me know what you think about this and all this supposed healthy eating just because it's vegan. I just don't even know how you can even attempt to re-educate people on healthy eating when our system is just so built around these processed foods. And it does take like a lot of effort to break out of that processed food mindset, because you have to start thinking about, geez, how do I cook a chicken breast? I talked to somebody the other day, a 22-year-old friend of mine, who was like, how do I cook a chicken breast? Do I season it before or after? And how long do I cook it? And at what temperature? And it's like, I learned how to cook a chicken breast when I was like 13 years old. And that's no insult to him. That's just a commentary on what is going on with the new generation and our generation. If people don't know how to cook their own food from scratch. That is why I'm going to be doing more videos about that. I'm getting a whole new kitchen. I'm getting a new oven. I'm getting a new microwave, which is definitely has an oven. It's blowing my mind. A new refrigerator. I have a new dishwasher. And I'm going to be using all those things to cook more healthily. And I hope to do some cooking videos to kind of show, you know, what I eat in a day, how I'm losing weight, what I'm doing for my body to help build muscle and reduce inflammation, but also how to cook foods that are traditionally processed that you would not really know how to make at home, and show you easy ways to make them at home in ways that are not harmful to your body, not harmful to your weight loss journey. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Tell me what you think about this video. Tell me what you think about the whole processed vegan lifestyle. I want to hear what you have to say. Okay, bye.